1x4 crossroads.
This will be at Odell Middle School. School ground. 144.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to day 2 of week 1 of the only underground Heroes of the Storm tournament. We're talking about Bush League. I am your host, Cat Peach. I will be here all evening long. Right now, I do have a special buddy with me, Rosai. How you doing?
What's up? I'm here just drinking the manliest beer ever. It's a grapefruit shandy by Leinenkugel, so I'm ready to go.
Bro, all that, Chester. I think I have something ever so slightly more manly, which is a cup with panda bears on it full of wine. So we're doing great here within the first couple seconds of this.
It's game time.
Yeah, it's totally game time for us, for these teams. So, today, first match, we are going to have Try Harder versus Team Fuck, which might be the first time I've gotten to say fuck on a cast before. Heck yeah. So, pretty excited about that. I'm pretty good friends with Ramadi over on the side of Try Harder. So, this will be quite interesting to see how his personality matches up with the rest. You've been probably, keeping tabs on folks since you are actually in our second matchup of the night. How do you feel about these two teams going into the night?
It's gonna be interesting. I think if y'all don't know who Ramadi is, he's he's on the staff for Heroes Hearth. He's their psychology coach, and he's got a very level head about him. So he plays I think he usually plays the off lane, so he's usually pretty strong there. On the other side, Team Zexorus, as I'm gonna call it, is I played with Zexorus before. It's kind of a coin toss with him because he brings so much energy to the game, and it's really unpredictable. So you'll never know what you're gonna get, and I think it's gonna be pretty fun.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's really funny how this is totally one of the most casual leagues that currently exists, and so it's really fun to see who's gonna be super try hard and who's here just to mess around and have a good time. Like, we had a first pick Nazebo in a game last night, which you usually don't see, and that was a good old rompus. So appreciate that. Looks like the teams are ready, so we're going to go into map number 1, which Rosai and I got to pick together, and we are going, ladies and gentlemen, to Braxis Holdout, because why not?
Why not, indeed.
Alright, so quick bang coming out.
That's likely targeted at EBS Graphic. He's pretty much known for playing Diablo, so I think that's a good call. I don't think this is his best map, but I think considering the opponent, it was probably a good choice.
I guess that leads to a good question. Who is the best on Braxis Holdout, would you say?
Tank-wise, I really like Garrosh on this map because, in fact, I think this is one of his better maps. Because of how close the fights are to the towers in both top and bottom lane. And then, of course, because of that, you need someone who's capable of standing up to Garrosh, like Johanna. And there it is. There's the Garrosh fan. Exactly. So you need someone like Johanna or Yrel or Muradin who can handle being up in front of Garrosh's face.
Yep, and we end up seeing that Johanna being locked in for Try Harder, so good pick up there. So against that blind that she does have, she doesn't have the most mobility, so there's that to take advantage of. Given the seeming tank chokeout it's almost wondering if it's worth it for Fuck to pick it up now, or given that there's so many limited options, like just kind of wait till later. But they're gonna grab the Muradin and the Rhaegar now, who has been making a bit of a comeback as of late.
Yeah, I think grabbing the tank now is a good call because I think the other option would have been to grab ETC, which I don't like going into Johanna. So grabbing that early before it gets banned out was a good choice.
Yeah, I agree.
Now they need to focus on a good, solid solo laner.
Need a good solo laner, need follow-up damage to go into what that Raynor is going to be putting out as well. Also something, ideally, to deal with Stukov. With I guess you have a bit of with Stormbolt, perhaps, but those silences on those 2 capture points are some of the most annoying situations to be in, so making sure that you can get that Stukov out as soon as possible, or at least get him out of that position, is at least what I try to do when I see a team draft a Stukov that early, to be like, all right, how can I punish this fool who's going to be standing still for a little while on the backside?
Yeah, for sure.
Gallban as well.
Yeah.
Murky, let's go.
Murky.
All right.
Let's go, boys. Here we go.
I mean,
Interesting.
It's no Probrius for sure, but I'll take a Murky.
So, I get it's going to be Thrall in the top lane against Murky, and he doesn't have the hardest time clearing the pufferfish. So I'm going to be curious to see how that's going to go. If he goes into a slime build, Thrall's going to have a hard time just staying on the point, but it's going to take a few levels to get there for Murky.
Yeah, absolutely. The pufferfish just can totally blow your day out of proportion if you're not careful around it, and it's also making sure that Thrall isn't committing too highly, I guess, to killing the Murky, if that makes sense, just because the retreat with the bubble is one of the most heartbreaking things that you can do to say, I'm pretty sure I have this Murky dead, and then you don't, and he floats away, and everything is a-okay. But, yeah, and as you mentioned, Ramadi, solo lane usually, looks like he's going to be on the Thrall, so that'd be good. Over these drafts, though, we have lots of range coming out and damage from Team Fuck. I can't not laugh or smile when I say that. I love it.
So
this is definitely.
Well, this is definitely one of Kel'Thuzad's best maps because he's in the 4-man and he gets to stack really easily. And I don't necessarily like the Vala pick when you have a Rhaegar as the support, and she kind of needs a little bit more there. So, kind of giving this more towards try harder. But then again, Kel'Thuzad is facing up against a lot of damage, so this could be a rough game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let us switch over to this game as we get started off. Game number 1 of this 2-game set. On the left, we have Try Harder. We're going to have Fringe Average on Stukov, Ramadi on Thrall, Super Dave on Surly Duff, and Spoilsack on Kel'Thuzad.
And on Team Fuck, we have DJ Tyrant being the tank on Muradin. Zextrus is going to play the Jaina. Dorsch is doing his normal healer role on Rhaegar. Digitality on Vala. And EBS Graphic is swapping up the roster a little bit on Murky in the top lane.
Yeah, I'm so curious to see how this Murky into Thrall matchup goes in the long run. It's going to be very annoying for sure, and gonna have to keep tabs. Usually the top lane you don't pay too much attention to, I feel like, through things, but for some reason all my sounds decided to turn off, so let's return to the game with sound now. Hooray. But yeah, 4 down here in the bottom, like you said. Kel'Thuzad trying to get those stacks as soon as possible is really important, and with 2 lanes, it's definitely one of the easier situations, given that the team's going to be grouped on those beacons, going to be roaming around in only a certain amount of areas, and already coming out with lots of damage onto DJ Tyrant there.
Yeah, so like I said, I think Murky's going to have a little bit of time stacking his pufferfish. You see how even with just a couple auto attacks and with Wind Fury, Ramadi's able to pop the pufferfish, so he's going to have a hard time stacking his fishy deal. So I'm not sure how much value he's going to get out of that.
Yeah, indeed, but it's always the early game, so you never know. There's time for that to change around. The circle damage coming out from Team Fuck is very strong. The dive from Rexar down to the bottom, but Romedy able to get the first blood. It is only a quarter of a kill, but it is still a kill onto Murky, being that the first sacrifice of this game today.
Zexorus and Digitality are already showing a good level of synergy. They're able to focus their damage, and it's not being spread out, which is really good when you have a double range. And so they're able to... unfortunately, they're putting it onto a Rainer. Oh!
Trades for kills. A tank for a Vala, which I guess I would say Team Fuck coming on the winning side there now that there's a couple seconds that Tryharder does not have that tank. This Kel'Thuzad is able to definitely nail those combos so far, which I think ended up is what pulled down that Vala in that fight down there. So good job coming out from Spolasak on those.
Well, and that's what I was a little worried about is, Vala's so squishy nowadays. So they're going to have to be a little cautious as they're going into these team fights because Rainer's able to poke her down in the back.
That's yet another kill onto the Murky, but down here in the bottom, Team Fuck looking a bit more in the red as well. Vala's going to fall down yet again. DJ Tyrant also getting really low, is currently the focus of the attacks from Team Tryharder, but able to Dwarf Toss out of there just fine. But again, showing how careful you need to be on that Vala, not being able to always vault away. Once you use up that vault, you're in a very vulnerable position, and especially if Sukhov is able to silence her out of that and unable to use it, she's kind of in a rock and a hard place and a really easy target.
Jaina going an interesting build. She's going Fingers of Frost and Arcane Intellect. Normally you'll see one of the Ice Lance talents at level 1 or 4 if you're not going one or the other there.
DJ Tyrant ends up going down. Dorsh was around, nothing he could do. Yeah, the switch up to Fingers of Frost is interesting just because you have the globe wells scattered throughout, and so a lot of folks think maybe I can capitalize on being able to rotate and pick those up as fast as possible. So we'll have to see how fast that Jaina can actually pick up those globes and complete that quest, because I think that's going to be really telling on how this Jaina is going to perform overall in this game.
Yeah, he's definitely going for, sustain. He's wanting to, outlast these team fights, but I don't think that's going to happen against a Rainer. I think they should have built for just straight damage. Yes. Maybe go Fingers of Frost, but then take the Ice Lance talent to 4.
Yeah, the Pierce would be a good response to the splash damage that Rainer provides, and you have to think about, then, the splash damage with Kel'Thuzad being able to focus down on when your team clumps like that. Jaina ends up falling is such a scary situation, especially if Team Fuck is just going to focus on this beacon as hard as they are and have to be grouped up like that. They provide themselves as very easy targets to their opponents.
Rough times, and it's a hard time to be a Murky right now. He just cannot man up on the point right now.
They're all too big, too beefy, too fighty.
He's doing a good job because as soon as he's holding his Wind Fury until he sees the pufferfish come down, he puts down 2 autos on it and it's gone.
I would expect nothing more than calculated plays like that coming out from a member of Heroes Card Esports themselves. But down here in the bottom, DJ Tyrant still going in, North Toss out to get away, but they're Team Fuck able to reclaim this bottom capture point for just a bit. Tryharder does have the advantage right now in beacon percentage, so Team Fuck needs to either give this now and I think stop giving as many deaths as they have been giving and try to reset and maybe get the beacon in the second phase of the game when it's a bit stronger. Or try to do something to help Murky in the top lane, which isn't really what your team wants to be doing, is helping out that Murky. The whole point is to let him go off on his own and be able to handle it, and that just isn't the case here. So their resources, I think, are going to end up being spread thin, and Meriden ends up falling again. The damage coming out from Tryharder is just too much for Team Fuck to be able to deal with.
Yeah, Team Fuck's going to need to make an adaptation at some point, because currently they're just kind of playing into the Kel'Thuzad playstyle. They're just hanging out as a 4-man, giving him stacks all over the place. If that's the case, you got to get quick rotations around the map. Just go in a clockwise circle and continually go around and get kills. And force Tryharder to get out of the bottom lane, and try to create a little bit of imbalance on the field.
Yeah, for sure. And for at least right now, we have the first prominent Zerg wave going over to Tryharder. Now, the recent changes, this Zerg wave in the bottom isn't the most neglectable wave. It used to be just 6 tiny itty-bitty Zerglings. They beefed it up a bit, so Spolsack and Romedy coming to clean that up while the rest of the team is able to push with their much stronger wave up in the top lane. They're quickly approaching level 10 as well, which hopefully, given the coordination they've had thus far, I'm expecting as soon as that hits for there to be quite a few deaths on the field, to be honest.
Yeah. Team Fuck should have taken a little bit more advantage of the 4 versus 3 up there right before level 10. That was a great opportunity. Unfortunately, they let that window slip, and Tens came in with the kill.
Yeah, absolutely. Kel'Thuzad, no hits on there. Let's see what we have for heroics. Flailing Swipe coming out from that Stukov. Earthquake for Thrall. Raynor holding on to theirs for a little bit. Plus shields. Shadow Fisher coming out for that Kel'Thuzad. And again, these combinations onto that volley, even when she tries to retreat, are amazing from Spolsack. Just predicting where the enemy team is going to be and trying to find them.
Really solid Stukov play from Fringe as well. He's closing off a lot of the choke points. This is his favorite hero in Bush League Season 1, so everybody take note.
Target bans against Fringe coming in for the rest of the season, probably. I mean, Stukov's one, like, a lot of people don't consider him a top-tier support anymore, and I understand the reasons why, but if you're able to place those silences as strategically as Fringe has been showing, it can make or break your entire team composition. So I just feel like people don't give Stukov the benefit of doubt, or good Stukov players the credit that they really deserve with the hero. Thrall ends up going down in the bottom lane.
Octograb Reign of Vengeance combo, and this is what they need. They need to start making some 2v1s and 4v3s happen on the map, and it's going to give them some life back into the later stages of this game.
Yeah, and I like Valo matching up with the Murky to really put out that damage to assist Murky a little bit, since Vala has been continually caught out in the 4-man rotation, so a bit of a change there. I wonder how long that's going to keep around as we get into the second beacon phase of the game. Camps getting picked up from both teams, but right now we only have one on the map for Team Fuck. But up top here, lots of damage coming out. Reign of Vengeance as well. Hyperion comes out. Zixaris able to get that ancestral healing from Dorsch to stay alive just a bit longer. DJ Tyrant actually ends up getting knocked out by accident of Kel'Thuzad's ability. Feels bad. Feels bad just a little bit.
Big
Nice.
Ringer Frost coming back on the back line. Not a lot of follow-up.
Yeah, not too much follow-up, but with the Blizzard, DJ Tyrant really low. Rhaegar ends up getting picked off, and can DJ Tyrant make it out? He ends up door tossing, which is good. Does Kel'Thuzad have that global heroic? Not willing to use it just yet, and actually it's on cooldown, so not able to follow up with that. That would have been a nasty kill if he had that for a follow-up.
The Slime Time quest is nearing completion, so he's starting to get a little bit more damage trading out onto Thrall, and he's been able to hold this point off for a while as he's had the Merc camp pushing in the bot lane. But again, 2 right clicks negate half of Murky's damage.
Trying to find it. Murky gets
There
the
it
blow,
is.
but there's the kill. There's also a loss up on top for Vala yet again. This beacon is slowly getting ticked up for Team Tryharder, also able to probably take this fort down before they're able to get their second BP wave of this game. They're looking in a fantastic position. They have 13.
Octograb.
Octograb onto Thrall. The Blizzard does come out to follow up. The Earthquake to try to retreat. just not enough. Fuck.
Great.
Just barely hanging on to that bottom point there.
Fuck.
Maybe that's why they name themselves that. It's because they're just going to be yelling fuck probably on their team comms for the whole game.
Well, that was a great move because I mean they knew that they couldn't do anything. What a team should not ever do is when they're at a man disadvantage is just watch a fort go down, and so they went and made something else happen on the map, and that's what they need to do. They need to get more of these rotations. Every time they're static is when the snowball starts to happen.
Yeah, and they've been able to get level 13 for themselves as well, so at least they're not down a talent tier and don't have to be afraid of taking those fights. And you know, if they end up in 5v5 situations, it's not as big of a deal now. So great on there. Let's see, blue point captured on the bottom. We've got Team Fuck capturing the top one, and minions pushed up onto that fort as well, starting to do a little bit of damage to it. And both capture now, so Try Harder going to have to engage here, see if they can claim that point for themselves. And Fuck says, heck no, we're not dealing with this. End up giving it away very readily.
Good call.
Sometimes it's just not worth holding on to it, you know? You got one in the bottom, you don't need both necessarily.
Massive combo from Spoilsack. Dang. Fuck. It's not looking good.
Not too good. I mean, anything can happen. Murky getting collapsed upon, ends up going poof down there. And now, oh, it looks like Fuck able to trade for that bottom beacon over in the top, which is great. Camps are starting to come up a little bit on the map. We have one bruiser camp available as an option for one of these teams, probably Team Try Harder, but for now they are focused on these beacons. I don't blame them. Super Dave trying to beat up this Murky a little bit down here. Octograd ends up coming out as well, followed up by Rain of Vengeance. Murky still goes down, but they're able to take out a Rainer in the process, which I would say is a vaguely good trade. The Ring of Frost comes out simply to isolate Kel'Thuzad, who ends up melting, and that's only 2 kills in favor of
Keep
Team
going.
Fuck.
It's 5v3. Keep going.
Go
just run it
chase
down.
them.
Run
That's
it
right.
down.
Murky's just gonna run to the top.
Octograb. Value this game.
The Octograb Rain of Vengeance combo is paying off, and they're able to time it out. So it's an easy pick, and once you have that, the Ring of Frost follow-up on whoever's trying to come save them is excellent.
It's gotten kills every time, so they just needed. That's exactly what they need. They're almost on the same talent tier, so
Yeah,
they're back in this
really
game.
Fast in experience with that too. So both teams gonna hit 16 roughly at the same time. Team Fuck able to grab that bottom camp of theirs. Top siege camp now popped. I wonder if one of these teams is going to try to bait the other and try to make something happen here. Both teams are poised for it. Let's see who ends up winning out here. It is a 5v4 it looks like though.
Good Ancestral on the Zextrus. He's able to get out. Hyperion's popped. Team just starts back up.
Yep, Team Fuck. Hyperion
Murky
comes out.
is pushing into the keep wall on the bot lane in the meantime.
This is very true. Heads up! Murky doing Murky things. Like dying. But it's okay, because you're right. They got pretty good value with that camp moving into that gate down there. Murky able to barely hold on to these beacons for his team. Rain of Vengeance comes out on the Romney up top. Earthquake comes out, playing safe to make some room. The Ring of Frost ends up hitting two!
They need to wipe it. They need to just run it down. Take it. Take them all. Take all 3.
Let's go. Chase him down. Fringe goes down. Murky went down in bottom, but Super Dave now the focus of Team Fuck. But it is Rainer able to put out a lot of that damage. Dorch has to back up just a bit not to fall. But that was a fantastic team fight for Team Fuck, which hasn't been the case for most of the game. And I think they're finally starting to hit that synergistic level of power and understanding what they need to do to combat their opponents. They do have to respond to that camp, which looks like it should be cleared pretty quickly. Murky's going to continue harassing the bottom lane, trying to distract, and suddenly the beacon percentage is nearly tied up for both teams. So this is going to be a scary push for both of these teams. Murky.
So Tryharder has changed up their strategy. They had a winning strategy of staying together, but then we had Johanna in the bottom lane and then a 3v4 in the top lane. So all Team Fuck, I guess, had to do was just wait for Tryharder to give up on their winning strategy, and then
That is what I'm talking about with trying to kill Murky, especially later game Murky, and just not being able to make it happen. Johanna tried so hard. Top fort goes down on the side of Tryharder, which makes
we now have a full level lead.
full level lead. Trying to see what they can do in this fight. Surly Duck ends up being in the middle of a lot, but able to block it for their team. Gurdon ends up falling first in this fight. Hyperion is coming out. Surly Duff looking a bit iffy in that
Blind
back.
comes out at just the right time. If Digitality had one more auto onto Surly, that would have been a turn for Team Fuck.
So close. This Murky, though, not looking as lucky. Ends up going down, and this should be with 2 members at least temporarily down for Tryharder. Let's see if they want to try to grab that top beacon, or if they want to try to capitalize on this mana advantage that they currently have. But it looks like Fuck is going to get the fuck out of there. Ricky keeps being able to sneak onto these beacons, but not too much afterwards they can do, but it buys just enough time for the rest of Team Fuck to capture the opposite side of the map. So, very interesting rotations. I feel like they gotta find that Murky Egg sooner or later. There's only so many places for it to hide.
Surly Duff going a little too confidently into the bush, but a nice turn. Oh, this is not good. This is going to be a full beacon control, I think, for Tryharder.
Oh, absolutely. This Kel'Thuzad is running amok onto the back line of Team Fuck.
Feels bad,
Feels
man.
really bad.
So, Murky went into the Slime quest and also took the new Fish Tank talent where he now heals off of his basic attacks and basic abilities. I think, thinking that he was going to do more damage with Slime, that he was going to try and out-trade, but I just don't think he's getting value out of the talent at all. So probably the Rejuve Bubble, nice safe pick, would have been a better choice.
But it is.
But it's fairly...
is.
It's a fairly even Zerg wave though, and they're gonna have all 5 up. They may trade evenly. They're gonna lose a fort for sure, but I don't think this gets much further past the front wall of the keep.
Yeah, hopefully not, and hopefully not as well for Tryharder, because that Zerg wave, if left alone, goes right to their keep as well up there on top. So Ramadi up there doing his best to deal with this, should hopefully clear that out. Eventually, not the fastest of clear, but enough consistent damage and sustain to be able to do that. Murky ends up getting picked off again down here. Ring of Frost doesn't connect with anyone there in a defensive move. DJ trying to throw out the Stormbolt, didn't connect. The Ancestral doesn't make it. Murden ends up falling, and Murky ends up feeding yet again. The egg right there should go down, and there it is. Can they get one more kill onto Murky to make that a long death? Gonna hobble away to make sure that's not the case. And Gate's gone. Keeps taking damage. How far does Tryharder want to keep pushing this? Not very far, it seems. They're content.
So, Team Fuck's Assassins took some interesting adaptive talents to try and compensate for their comp's weakness. So, normally, like I said, Vala's really squishy. She's gonna try to, be supported by a double support or, a shielding bruiser. And so to compensate for that, oh, nice trade kill against Kel'Thuzad. Get that kill, come on, dudes, let's just go
close.
in. All right. Anyway, so Zexus, as we saw, went into the Fingers of Frost, went into the Arcane Intellect, went into Ice Barrier, went into Ice Flows. A lot of non-traditional talents, and basically it's patching up the fact that Rhaegar isn't going to be able to keep Jaina and Vala topped off, and Vala going into Tempered by Discipline, going for the heal. They're trying to patch up these small, weak, HP pools with some awkward talent choices. So, not sure it's working out. They kind of need the damage.
Yeah, it's unfortunate when your damage has to make up for that lack of support, because then they can't do what they do best, which is killing things, which is what Tryharder is doing really good with right now. 3, including that Murky, if you want to, who ends up falling in this fight. Zexeris ends up trying to poke, ends up paying for it a little bit, and this is now eyes on the boss for Tryharder. And not many bodies to really deal with it for Team Fuck, so they're going to safely get their siege camp, but this boss is going to barrel down one of these lanes. Both keeps are open at this point, so this is going to be something that Team Fuck needs to deal with as soon as possible. I know Murky can come back so quickly, but it just seems like they're too willing to maybe give their lives in favor of their team here.
Yeah, it was a ballsy move to try and take a 19v20 fight on that bruiser camp. But now they got a boss and Merc camp pushing in their top keep, while the objective spawns are open. So this is in a tough spot for Team Fuck.
Yeah, it's really tough, and unless they can clear this boss and try to save their keep, the threat of boss not being able to deal with the beacons, and then Zergwave coming in through this top lane that the boss is already in, spells what I want to say might be the end of this game coming in the next couple of minutes. Murky poking around on Thrall down there a little bit. All for naught. Keep down. Boss still a little bit less than half health here. Gonna go after the core. I don't think it's gonna do too much damage, at least, but 76% already on the beacon, so this should absolutely end, unless Tryharder does something funny.
And this wave's coming straight down to the core, yeah. So they're in a tough spot.
So when you're in this position, what do you do? What do you say to your team to be like, all right, there's a full Zerg wave coming down to our lane that already doesn't have a keep. And
well, I'll tell you what you don't do. I'll tell you what you don't do.
Right.
Don't stand in the Zerg wave. Happens all the time.
Don't go have a party with the Zergs right in front. That sounds like a good piece of advice.
Try to pull them off. Try to pull them off the side and get them out of the Zerg wave, because see where Super Dave's standing and Spoil Sack, they're right in there. They're trying to bait Team Fuck right in there, and it's kind of working.
It's working really well. 4 down. Digitality, the last one left, but Core's falling really fast. The Zerg wave is still pretty strong, and that's going to be a GG for game number 1. Going over to Tryharder. In a very Team Fuck almost came around a couple of times there. They had that level deficit that they were able to make up from, but eventually, it all just came crashing down on them.
Yeah, I think even from level 1, they were playing on the back foot. They had so many mini 1v1 matchups that they had to overcome in order to possibly stand a chance. And it wasn't until the late game, when they had some talent synergy starting to roll in, that they could stand a chance. But yeah, 26 kills to 9 in favor of Tryharder.
It hurts so much. The poor team. I really was cheering for that Murky, because how can you not? How can you not cheer for the Murky? Yeah. But should have been a Probius is all I'm saying, Team Fuck. Just throwing that out there. Alright.
Feels murky, man.
Feels murky. So let's get our lobby set up for game number 2, which is going to be a very different map than our first. Still as exciting, I hope, for everyone. So while we set this up, why don't you tell us a bit, since you're playing in the next set for the evening, who do you think is the scariest team in Bush League? And flip side, who do you think is the least scary?
Well, let me pull up all the teams. I'll tell you the scariest team is the League of Ordinary gentlemen, my team. Things feel good with our team. Like, we had our first practice together on Thursday, and comms are good, and I think we have a very scary hero pool that it's very flexible. So I'm pretty excited about it. In terms of everyone else, I don't know. After that performance, Team Fuck, they're gonna have to prove me wrong, but you need to step it up a little bit.
Just a little bit. It is, I don't personally know a lot about how these teams perform, and I don't have a lot of knowledge of who is a pre-existing team in Season 1 of Bush League, who's carrying over, and if people switch teams around and stuff like that. And so it's forgivable to say it's week 1, it's the second day, it's the first time they're really showing their stuff. So maybe there's something they just haven't figured out yet, or maybe just the super team of Super Dave and some of these pro team members on this side of Tryhard are just a bit too much here. Let's see.
I think they just gotta think through the drafts a little bit more and think about winning every 1v1.
Yes.
So.
Super team of Super Dave. Correct, Tower Baron. They're the most super. They should have just been the super team instead of Tryharder, in my personal opinion. But really, can you top Team Fuck as a name?
I don't think so. I don't know what you would top it in, but it's certainly something.
Might be something you don't want to toss in. I don't really know. Alright, so we're gonna do 20 Posse again, just making sure we're waiting on one more person on the side of Team Fuck. Team Fuck, get your players to be on time. It's okay. I just like shaming players for not joining lobby in time. Lobbies are hard. Lobbies are most of the time of things going on behind the scenes. It's all good. It's all good. I love them
I gotta
all.
say the team logos this season are on point.
Yeah, they are.
The meme game is real. So.
Who is it? Get Fucked. Get Fucked just has a very good or Jiggly and the
Jiggly and the Muffs.
Jiggly and the Muffs have the Jigglypuff Get Fucked logo, and that one's really good.
Yep.
Alright, let me just make sure teams are ready. Oops, I didn't mean to do it there. Haha. So in the time being, while we finish getting the game set up, where can people find you, Mr. Rosai, if they want to know what you're doing on the internet?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at Rosai_Hots. I'm one of the staff writers for Team Liquid. I do interviews and HGC previews and stuff like that. I also do a series of articles breaking down the music of Heroes of the Storm. So yeah, check those out on teamliquid.net and follow me on Twitter.
Awesome. Definitely do that. Just pop those links in chat as well. But maybe some of you already know our buddy over here. Definitely make sure to stay tuned for the next game to see how you end up competing yourself. You'll be on the opposite side of this. Does it feel weird to be on the caster side and then flip to the player side and then go, I just smack talk a bunch of my competitors. Will I pay for this later? Because Zex is going to be coming in on the caster seat for the next set.
That's right. He's going to go back and listen to everything I said and just let me have it. So
in the 15 minutes in between.
Yeah, that's right. So I better step it up.
All right. Tryharder sticking with the Diablo Li Ming. Banning the Stukov for Team Fuck. So good on them for picking that up. That Asmodan ban.
Interesting. Same opener from Tryharder, the Diablo ban going into the Johanna on the first pick. So some strats starting to get some light shed on them.
Yeah, some favorites coming out. Raynor getting picked up instead for Team Fuck this go around. Who are they pairing that up with?
Rhaegar.
Again for Rhaegar. So I hope they at least don't pick as squishy heroes. At least Raynor has a bit of the self-sustain, so I'd like to see one more damage dealer that potentially has that, or just someone that Rhaegar is going to babysit for the rest of the game, for better or worse.
Yeah. At least Raynor has his own source of healing, so Rhaegar's not going to feel quite as pressured. So this is at least a better start, I think, to the draft for Team Fuck.
I'm a little nervous about that early Uther, if I'm being entirely honest.
Interesting choice. I think if you're going to get the Uther, you don't take it there, but I'm curious what the rest of the draft they're hiding if they're wanting to get the Uther that early.
Yeah, if they prioritize it that much. And the Genji ban coming out after that makes absolute sense. Maybe we're going to see... Would we have a Tracer follow-up on here? Tracer is no stranger to Towers of Doom, for sure.
Definitely some kind of high-pressure assassin. Kerrigan, maybe. Trying to dive in on the Raynor, or even a Thrall. They're just trying to get, you just focus the Raynor and then get all the pressure out there. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Banning Gaul again.
Just really not into the Gaul. I don't blame him. Jaina coming out again, so wondering if we're gonna see some additional changes to that.
There's the Kerrigan.
Oh, there's the Kerrigan.
There's the Kerrigan.
So excited because we don't get to see Kerrigans very often in scenes like this. So heck yeah, Yrel following up as well. What do you think of Yrel these days after all the nerfs that came out? Because some people still think it didn't matter. Some people are like, oh, she's dead. I hear different things from different people.
No, still strong for sure. Her wave clear, especially post 16, is strong, but it's mostly in her self-sustain that she's so strong. So, and she's a pretty good pairing against Dahaka. Once you see Dahaka go in with the his W, you just knock him out of it.
Yep.
And he can't clear the wave, so he has a little hard time trading. So she's going to get a little bit better clear and get faster rotations on a map that really relies on the solo lane getting out of the solo lane. So I'm pretty curious, how EBS Graphic is going to manage that solo lane rotation.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and just from their performance last game, it's hard to say. Was it simply a weakness in some of those adaptations to talents that we saw and just putting so much bang into the Murky? Or is it more indicative of this team's synergy overall? So game number 2 is a great place to find out. So let us get started here to see if Try Harder can take it all, or if Team Fuck can come back and get a win from themselves. Team Try Harder in the blue. Fringe Average on Uther. Romedy going to be on Yrel. Super Dave be stepping over there on Kael'thas. Surly Duff back on Johanna. And Spoilsack is going to be on Kerrigan.
5, 4.
On Team Fuck, we have Raynor being played by Zexorus. Digitality playing Jaina. EBS Graphic again in the solo lane on Dahaka. Dorsch on the Rhaegar, and DJ Tyrant once again on the Muradin.
I'm curious how Romedy did a fantastic job on the solo lane. Oh my god, already so much damage coming in from that Kerrigan combo onto DBS Graphic. No kill to be had just yet, but that is already Dahaka tapping that well in the first couple seconds of the game. Coming out strong, Try Harder.
Yeah, the 4-man on Try Harder is definitely stronger, but if Dahaka is going to go into isolation and put it on to Kerrigan or even Yrel, it's going to make their job a little harder. So, it's really up onto the talent choices and their adaptation for handling this really oppressive front line from Try Harder.
Yeah, for sure, and we're still seeing the Fingers of Frost coming up from Jaina, so maybe this is going to end up being the same build, same time around. I wonder if it's really going to pay off in the long run, but they're the players, I'm just the caster sitting here from above, so it's really easy to judge when you're not on the field, and I'm going to continue doing that for the rest of this game, actually, so they can deal with it.
I think here it definitely would have been a good call to go the increased range on Frostbolt because of how oppressive that front line is. Jaina just needs to hang back. Litmurd and Dahaka create space for her, and then it's that's sustain in itself, being able to hang back. So I think that might have been the better call. But trading out the Merc camps almost exactly. So these teams are doing a good job of maintaining the macro focus here.
Yeah, absolutely. Those zappers are really valuable. So getting those as often as possible. Romney is one of those people who has the camp timings down. So I'm pretty sure he's over in comms being like, all right, it's 2 minutes and 15 seconds. We have to get our zappers. And everyone rotates. He's like, they've got those players that have that kind of knowledge on their side. Dorish in a bit of a tricky spot. Kerrigan with the pull in ends up taking out Rhaegar. Vixaris able to back away, not spread that living bomb too much. But first blood, yet again, in favor of Tryharder here.
Alright, the 1v1 is going, and they're trading out pretty well up in the top lane, EVS and Ramadi. They're playing chicken around each other.
Just a little bit. I almost would like it, and this is, I guess, more of a tactic I've become a fan of as playing Dahaka, is if you're into a URL, let her get close to your towers. It might not sound ideal, but given that you have the global pressure, you can stay up there a little bit longer if you have to push back that lane, and then just tongue her and pull her into your towers and get extra damage there, and she's going to have to retreat. So I wonder if that's something we'll eventually see come out of EBS Graphic, but perhaps it's just a me thing. But I feel like it works well against URL. She's a bit of a nuisance, and get that damage.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you're not going to out-trade the wave, like I said, for the same reasons, of URL being able to knock you out of the wave. So, yeah, freezing the wave, keeping it close to your side of the map is definitely the right call. I agree with you.
3v2.
Got a flank coming down from Kerrigan. I don't think they see this.
Kerrigan goes in.
Whip combo.
The gravity, the living bomb. Jaina goes down. DJ Tyrant, Dor's out. Dortos is out. Able to run away, but Tryharder on the hunt for him. And he's kind of literally up against the wall. Ends up going down in the long run anyway. Staggered just a bit. But that was a beautiful flank from Tryharder there, being able to get those 2 picks. Romney being chased off a bit by Zixaris. Gonna rotate down the mid lane. Camps are starting to come back up. Team Tryharder taking away the siege camp from the side of Team Fuck. So that is additional pressure they can put on this bottom lane where they seem to be focusing right now. And next Shrine going to be in that lower middle area as well. So they're primed to cap that, to maybe push this lane a little bit more, while the rest of the team, let's see, Kerrigan Uther grabbing again this other camp before the Shrine starts. And slight XP lead for Tryharder as well. So let's see how long they're able to keep that up, if they can have another beautiful engage like they did just a few minutes ago.
The altars have risen.
Good timing on the Merc camp, and they're looking to get a gank on a Raynor in the middle, and again the W placement for Spoilsack needs to be adjusted a little bit. And then he'll start landing these combos, but otherwise I like the Bloodthirst.
Yeah, I mean, they have the damage output for it, the combo to follow up on the gravity as well. Yrel ends up falling to Dahaka as this all goes down. However, 2 members end up falling for Team Fuck. And hopefully they should be backing away from the Shrine now in favor of Tryharder. But Jaina is sticking around trying to tap, but again, without that range, he has to get a little bit close. Bit of a punish on there, not able to follow up with the kill. But still a lot of damage onto her. And like you were saying before, that would be a great situation to have the increased range on that Frostbolt over the Fingers of Frost. So, lessons learned, I suppose, for that situation.
Yeah, so Kael'thas opting to go into Sun King's Fury at level 7. Living bombs that spread to enemy heroes deal 35% more damage. It's since the change to his level 16 Ignite, it's been a little bit more I guess, appetizing to go for this level 7 talent and start building into Living Bomb. So I'm curious to see how that's going to play out.
Yeah, and given that Kael'thas has been able to land the double gravity well on a couple individuals, being able to then spread the Living Bomb that lands on one to the other as additional follow-up to the combo that they already have with the Kerrigan could, result in quicker kills in a lot of these situations for them. So as long as they can capitalize on it, I think it sounds sane on paper, given how they've been playing. Taco's clearing that mid lane. Slowly hobbling up to top, checking things out with Boss just in case, but there's quite the
Huge
engage coming down.
Huge condemn coming out, and the Divine Shield gets popped onto Kerrigan along with her Maelstrom. Not able to get a whole lot of value out of it. If she's able to get another combo here, again, it misses. They're actually not trading this out very well. GitFuck might be able to turn this, especially with the Brush Stalker coming in from EBS Graphic, and they're able to turn this around. I think they should be able to run this down, get onto Fringe, and turn this. Yeah, they're going to get this Shrine.
Yeah, and that's 3 kills already, and they have their sights out on Murel for the next, who's able to go down. Kerrigan, last person standing, ends up simply backing away. Dehaka burrowing down to get that Shrine. And like you said, that was a choice burrow coming out from EBS Graphic to assist in that fight. Ooh, it looks like there is still some bloodthirst for this Kerrigan who went to check out that siege camp, and it looks like they're gonna get it. And just as a few members are coming up, all 5 eventually knocked down in a bit of an elongated fashion, but great chase coming out from Team Fuck, starting to show teeth of their own, up to, or now 1 level on their opponents. Hopefully going to hit level 13 before their counterparts. So we're starting to see them get a bit more aggressive, not be too afraid of the loss they had earlier, and they're showing some really great, team fighting skills here. So it might be in their favor for the long run. They already have more damage onto their enemy's core here, so far they're shaping up to be turning this around from last game.
Yeah, it was a rough team fight for Try Harder. They just couldn't land a few skill shots, and with Kerrigan, she did go into the Bladed Momentum, but once that initial onset of the attack comes out and it doesn't hit, you then have to ask yourself, how far do we push this? And then it was Maelstrom getting tied together with Divine Shield, and then it not hitting enough people, and so not everything went well for them. And Team Fuck did a good job of realizing the opportunity they had and turned it. So it was great.
Yeah, absolutely. You can never discount where Dehaka is or is not, and that question mark ended up kind of, paying in the long run. I think they were really hoping to get a kill before Dehaka showed up, so at least they would have that advantage, but that's just not how it played out. So, gonna have to keep tabs on him later on in the game. 2 shrines popping up in the top on both sides. I'm going to suspect this potentially be an even trade, unless Fuck wants to try to invade with their 13 advantage, which it looks like they're not going to be able to.
Yeah, this is a wise choice just to make it an even trade. I don't think that Team Fuck has the dive potential to go in and make a reasonable threat on their side of the map.
Both teams rotating down, catching each other in the process. Surly Duff spread away from the rest of the team. Team Fuck not going to chase that down. Both teams just scouting out, trying to see where they can find the best opportunity. Still level 13, trying to get for Try Harder, so they're not looking to have too many engagements before then. The Sport's already seeing a lot of damage here in the bottom on the side of Try Harder as well. Team Fuck trying to take the siege camp. Murel ends up seeing it, ends up coming in. Try Harder coming in for the engagement. Ring of Frost gonna come out. Lands on Murel, but the Absorb comes out and able to save her. Looks like focus is on the EBS Graphic right now. Johanna ends up going down in this process. However, there's contention over this camp. DJ Tyrant hanging on as much as he can. Living Bob comes out, followed up by the Ancestral to keep him alive. The tongue goes out onto Kael'thas.
What
That's
a
4
turn!
members down in favor of
Wow.
Team Fuck.
That is not how I thought that fight was going to go.
Same. Hard save.
Wow.
When the Ring of
Well
Frost
done.
went out onto Urel, and it was like, okay, she used just Ardent Defender, able to absorb that damage, no problem, but didn't even matter. That was great focused play coming out from Team Fuck, who now have their eyes potentially on this bottom bell tower to simply keep pushing this game in their favor. They're going to, this would give them, I think, level 16 at this point as well, but they're going to back off. The Shrines are spawning 3 to be captured at this point. I imagine they're going to get at least 2 of these. Not going to have enough time to poke that top one.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so that was the second fight where Divine Shield and Maelstrom were used at the same time, and I can understand the reasoning. You're getting a little bit more damage and movement speed at the same time, but then you're also not getting the shields that help Kerrigan confidently stay in there. So maybe a little bit more communication needs to happen as they get this very, tunnel vision style of engagement that Kerrigan can have.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing with a lot of their combinations is that it's all in and if it doesn't work, there's nothing to really back it up. I think it's a lot easier with an option like a Genji that at least has the escape, but Kerrigan just doesn't have that, and so she's in the middle of a really bad situation if that doesn't land. Hyperion coming out. Ring of Frost was also used. Satchel comes out and DJ Tyrant able to stay alive a bit longer. He jumps in, tries to get down onto Spoilsack, who's getting incredibly low, lands the combo, but ends up falling instead. Super Dave ends up falling right after Romney trying to body for his team, ends up getting caught as well. And these team fights are now just looking so difficult for Tryharder. Like there's no way they're able to combat just the amount of damage coming out between the Jaina and the Rainer and the lockdown from Dehaka and the Ring of Frost. There's just so much going in Team Fuck's favor right now.
Yeah, and now I will say, Jaina build is finally starting to get on point. we have the damage. We have Frost Shards at 4. We have Ice Lance at level 7. So now he's able to put out consistent damage on chilled targets, and so it's really starting to amplify in each team fight, and that's exciting. Yeah, this is a 4-level about a 3-level deficit for Tryharder. This is a very tough spot to be in. They can give up these 2 altars, but they're going to have to regain some semblance of control on the map.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big bet to give them up. They don't really have another option, so they're going to have to and hope that they can deny boss later from their opponents. Dehaka, over on the backside, ends up taking Kerrigan down, simply passing by the rest of the team. Johanna and Kael'thas quickly fall. Fringe Abbott's trying to run away, but the tongue comes up from EBS Graphic, and that is all members down. Satchel coming out just for good measure.
Nice, and they got so many options now. I mean, they can either take down all the forts. It looks like Digitality is going to go and take the Sapper Camp down on the bottom. They're going to have points pressuring down there. They're going to look to get the boss, and if they are able to cap this, which it looks like they are, it's going to be GG.
This is GG right here. There's nothing to stop this. Those last couple shots onto the court of Tryharder, putting this series 1-1.
Great job. Great job.
Great
way to rally, guys.
Woo! Team Fuck not letting a first loss really, set them back, able to adjust. Again, letting Jaina do damage instead of having to make up for that healing and have additional protection for herself. I still would have liked the increase in Frostbolt, but can't have it all. But it still paid off dividends long run. So much of a different performance coming out from Team Fuck. So congratulations on that second game of theirs. Let's look at these stats real fast here for these teams. And as before, it was 24 to 9 kills. We have 5 to 19 in favor of Team Fuck this time around. So that must feel good to be on the positive side of the equation this time around.
Yeah, nice rally. So I just have a question about a talent.
Yeah.
I did not notice that Murden took block, and I don't really see the value on the other team. For taking block there, I feel like either going into the queue or taking third win might have been a better choice. I don't think, as I mean, they ended up dominating everyone anyway, but it didn't really matter. But
Maybe blocks the key into all this. You know?
yeah,
You never know. There's
secret.
lots of
Yeah.
factors.
I mean, what do I know?
We're
Yeah.
just over here in the casting desk. So, all right. Well, that's the end of this first series for the evening. So, GG's to both teams. We both got a win there. Both had excellent performances in both these games. We are going to take a 15-minute break, and when we get back, we are going to have League of Ordinary Gentlemen going off against Revolt. Are you ready, Razai, to compete now that you've been casting?
I am ready.
I am so excited to see it. So we will see you on the other side in a little bit. And for everyone else, make sure to check out Razai on his Twitters and his Twitch and all that good stuff. We will be back here in 15 minutes with our next game. So be sure to stick around, and we will see you soon.
at Odell Middle School. School grounds. 144.
All right, hello, welcome back to the Fight Club that Blizzard doesn't know about, the underground throw pit that is Bush League. I am Cat Peach, and I am back with a new co-caster this time around, Zexorus. I probably was also pronouncing your name wrong that entire match, and I think I swapped between Zexerus and Zexorus and maybe one other thing. So apologies, number one. Two, hello and welcome, and thanks for joining me. How you feeling after that last set?
Well, I'm feeling kind of embarrassed for Fringe, honestly, because we almost beat him with a Murky that wasn't even intended. So, saying
Accidental Murky's gotta beef up your game. It was fun to watch. I won't lie, accidental or not. All right, both these teams are ready, so we are just gonna get right into this. Good times with game number 2 versus Revolt and League of Ordinary Gentlemen, who Razai was just casting with us, is now on that team. We're also going to see Dorsch subbing as well. So Dorsch coming off of a set already, possibly a little exhausted, or really hyped up after the win. How do you think he was doing after that? You think he's good to go for another 2?
I think he's pretty good to go. He was pretty hyped up about taking that game 2. So, like, he was doing a lot of good shot calls. So I feel like Dorsch's sub is going to be beneficial. So
absolutely, yeah. I mean, that was a pretty dominant win coming out from you guys there. So that was rad. We are going to Sky Temple, number 1. Number 2, Pizza wants to say happy birthday to his father, Papa John's. So happy birthday, Papa John's, from Pizza. I got you, buddy. I got it, buddy. So you owe me one, all right? You owe me one, Pizza. And then what else? I just wanted to say real quick, because I missed all of these during the game. Leviathan, Tower Baron, Fringe, and Tower Baron a second time. Thank you for the bit cheers. It's really appreciated.
I want to toss somebody out. Our Pylon Princess, Cat Peach here. Pure, innocent. Me, not so much. I'm corrupt.
Listen, I can throw down if I want. Listen, even though there's wine in this panda cup, doesn't mean I can't throw down in the nitty-gritty as well, alright? Alright?
Right. But see, here's the thing. I want to see people donate bits for whatever team they're cheering. The more the team that's in the lead, the bigger the lead, the more biased I'll get.
Ooh.
So
I wanted to actually do something, and I forgot to ask if I was able to. I wanted to see if I could do a thing where whichever team garnered the most bit cheers got to pick the second map. I might do that next time I cast for the league. Because we get to pick them, so they're at our mercy. So if they want to, bribe us a little bit, I'll take them. I'll take them is what I'm saying.
Somebody's playing on Warhead and Garden of Terror. Back to back.
Back to back. Oh, man. All right, anyway, this draft I haven't even been paying attention to. Yrel, Rainer, out. I'm down. Garrosh and Chromio, I'm also down. Dahaka. Dahaka, no surprise.
Has that Chromie patch hit? Was that? No, or is that tomorrow?
That has not hit. That is, yeah, the incoming.
So getting her out while she's still good. So let's see. Looking at Blaze Vala. Now, see, there's a lot of Vala floating around here recently. And I don't know what changed that made everybody just like, oh, let's start picking Vala again.
Yeah, I was, curious about that as well. Hold on, I seem to have forgotten to put up the names of these teams real fast. Because they ended up in the wrong part of the scene. Thanks, chat, for saving the day. I only have so much money here to do this production value, so I appreciate the backseat production. It helps me. Helps keep me honest, my friends. Anyway. But yeah, like you were saying, like, the Vala's coming up, like, suddenly, and they haven't done anything to her. She wasn't, like, tweaked at all, even. And there's something about her, and honestly, also Greymane, that seemed to be making a resurgence for some reason. What are your thoughts on why?
I think it's that whole, I call it ETC syndrome, where, like, nobody was playing ETC for, like, the longest time, and then all of a sudden he just makes this huge impact on a BlizzCon. Like, everybody started picking him all of a sudden, and literally nothing had changed. So everyone just forgot that ETC was still good. It was after his trait rework. Like, everybody just stopped picking him because, GG, the movement speed and everything like that. But, like, then BlizzCon rolled around, and everybody remembered, wait, you still get all these incredible tools.
Yeah.
So that might be the case with Val. People just remember that, hey, wait, she is actually really good.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those situations of, like, maybe sometimes there are people better, but perhaps everyone else has just been nerfed so much that now she's on equal footing again, so... I love nerfs that bring back old heroes. Let's do it. But I agree with the ETC. Like, he's still a powerful cow. And I'm sad that, he's not coming out as much. You're seeing him a bit more with Jaina these days, but that's neither here or there at this point. But Zeratul is here! And Lucio!
Yeah.
Let's have a fast puppy with that
That's
Greymane.
actually a terrifying team fight lineup. Muradin, Dahaka, Greymane, ugh. Like, Deckard, though it's a really divey lineup. So if Deckard decides to go stay a while and listen, like, it's just going to mess everybody up, and Val's going to get, like, primo, like, Rain of Vengeances. Oh, my.
Follow up Alarak to that, too! This is like...
That's going to be filthy.
This is, on both sides, this is going to be gross. And I'm so excited. Like, there's so much bloodbath potential on both sides that I want to say that League of Ordinary Gentlemen maybe have an edge, but if Pizza can really hit those Alarak combos, like, that might be terrifying. Like you said, the Deckard punish on that dive, stay a while. Whew. Whew.
And I'm looking over Revolt's lineup, and I actually personally like it better. Like, they've got damage avoidance with Blaze. The bunker's godlike. They have counter engage in Johanna. If they dive, Johanna has, like, free condemns and punish combos for days. And on top of Alarak, just Discord striking the snot out of somebody. And then Val is just consistent DPS as well. Like, I'm afraid the first post-10 team fight, I fear for Red Team on this one. They're going to get exploded.
Yeah, especially unless that Lucio can boot bap those people who are trying to explode, which you can only do that so much, Zeratul at least has a little bit of escape, and so does Greymane and Muradin, but Dahaka, even with the speed boost, might be in a rough position in a lot of this. Again, I think Alarak for me is one of those characters that you either have to be god tier or it's not going to work. And so there's a lot riding on that pick for me when we're looking at the setup overall. But it looks like we are into this game, so let us take a look at these teams. In the blue, we are going to have Revolt, and we will have Gunslinger on Blaze. We're going to have Shiz on Johanna. Pizza will be on Alarak. Aurelius will be on, I believe that is the Vala, and Cutie Pie. Over on Deckard Cain, being a Cutie Pie grandpa, hanging out in the Nexus, not really moving too much, as you do.
Right. And on our left-hand side, we're going to have the League of Ordinary Gentlemen. We got Rosai rocking the Zeratul, Muradin on Lowski on the Muradin. We got Mystic Shroud bringing up Greymane. Lucio's going to be played by Dorsch 1, and then Wigan is on Dahaka and Die for Vision 100% of the time. Alarak taking a lot of damage right there. Gets a nice Chain Lightning off, and instead everyone decides to piece on out of there. Red's sticking with the Vision.
Yep, and Lucio taking We Move Together, so seeing additional speed boosts for his team. So this is going to be a zippy team on the side of... We're just going to call him Lug for the rest of it, right? Like the
Lug.
Or we could call him Loogies. I was thinking that before, and I was like, that sounds kind of gross, but I kind of like it. So to each their own. But yeah.
Mystic Shroud's in a lot of trouble. Oh, lordy.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's the beautiful stuff on the Engage right there.
Oh, pizza!
Pizza! What happened,
Pizza
buddy?
got eaten for dinner, everybody.
Thought he had a health bar right there, and Greymane just snatched it up. That was hilarious. We're already seeing Mystic Shroud and Rosai doing their camp, right quick.
Yeah, I mean, once you get that pick, you can just move into that, try to at least make up a little bit of experience with a push, if you can get it. But Revolt coming up with the same, so these are going to cancel out more or less. But with that additional speed boost from Lucio, I can imagine that the members of Lug simply going to rotate as much as they can, as quickly as they can, this entire game, to consistently build up pressure before these temple phases. And even be able to go between them because of that as well. So I think they're in a really good position for this pre-10 phase, and if they can keep the advantage after that, I think they're going to be in a really good setup for the rest of this game.
Shiz seems to have his eye on Rosai pretty well. It's been kind of difficult for Rosai to stay under stealth with Johannes constantly shield sniping him. That's annoying to deal with.
Yep, feels bad for those stealth changes that make it a little less fun to be a stealth character most of the time in this game. Lots of tools for them to deal with as well. I think almost everyone has something that can reveal Zeratul from that blind as well. Shiz ends up getting stunned, but it's Johanna. Johanna's not falling at this point in the game. Are you kidding me?
No. Ender was coming in for a flank looking for a tongue, and if he had landed it, she actually probably would have died. So, good heads up for her.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely. Now, members, again, Dorsch just leading the team from lane to lane, trying to find these picks, and I love it. They have an aggressive dive composition. If you can pick one out and get yourself in a position to get a member down before Shrines hit, you're in a great position. So Rosai's hanging out in the books, trying to see if they can finish out on the blaze. The sun comes out, but behind the wall just in time. So that blaze...
Yeah, I like that decision by Gunslinger right there. Just get that little extra burst of healing after he tapped the well. Just to stay alive, see, regenerating that health, standing in the fire. So, looks like we're just going to have a simple trade-off between top and mid on the Shrines. Rosai hanging around mid for a little bit. Takes an arrow to the face right there.
That's what Zeratul likes, is arrows to the face, I've been told.
He's a brave man.
If anyone's gonna take it, it's gonna be him. Yeah, I like the trade. There's nothing to really gain by forcing a fight too early on for either of these teams, and it's a really easy way to accidentally get your team to die. So play the safe game. You know that Blaze is hanging up top and is gonna keep clearing that lane. You know the rest of your team was at a different temple as well. So you spread out, you play it safe, and again, dead even in experience. So waiting for the other team to really make the mistake, I think, is going to be the overall play of this game. Unless they're also going to get these ganks here on Ender, wigging. Pizza, the displacement, with the rest of the team here to protect, and Dahaka's going to be just fine.
That's the initial kind of engagement that makes your butt pucker a little bit too hard right there. Start making diamonds.
No. But you got to do that early on, you know? You got to make the team scared. Almost.
That would have worked. Yeah, that would have worked on me.
I love it. I love the fear mechanics of some of those plays. Just making the phrase rotate around the map. Which,
This
I mean,
is brave.
This is really brave.
Yeah, down by boss.
Run up advantage. Silence goes out onto who's on the back, getting incredibly low. Shiz with the final blow. Lucio ends up going down. The main escape mechanic for that team gone. The rest of them back out. I love the focus on the Lucio there. Like, absolutely, you gotta get that boy out. He can just, even though it's a you know, pretty low heal that's always coming out, it's consistent enough to save a team member if you're going head to head like that, and then you end up paying for it. So good call coming out from Revolt there.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost a whole lot because this shrine hasn't really spawned yet, so Lucio's going to be able to make it back way in time. Team's getting dangerously close to level 10 right now, and that's going to change a lot in these upcoming team fights.
Yeah, we're going to have both teams having to focus on one shrine together. And so with 10 quickly approaching for Revolt, this seemingly right now is in their favor. League of Ordinary Gentlemen able to get the first capture on this, getting a couple of the first shots, but Revolt now going in, trying to surround the members of Lug.
Yeah, this is a perfect time for them to get out. Revolt doing just a wonderful job of controlling the space before 10. They've got 10 right now, so it'd be probably a really bad idea. I like what Revolt's doing right now. They're going into 3 lanes. Mystic Shroud's going to start working the camp on top, and Dahak is just denying it. A lot of experience up here in this top lane. There's nothing they can really do about this bottom shrine.
Yeah, and Ender is going to end up taking this fort down all by himself, which is, you know, great news given that they gave up that shrine entirely as well. Revolt trying to push on that bottom fort as well. Not too, still with a bit of health, but with a good push, being consistent down there, they might be able to get it down.
Yeah, this gives them a lot of important map control. Even just getting that well down, they could probably just back off this lane a little bit and get maybe a gank on someone in a rotation. But like taking the fort down is just extra cheesy for him right now. Oh, Zeratul in a bad way. He ends up having to burn his Void Prison right there. But here comes the cavalry. Oh, Greymane taking a lot of damage. Aurelius whipping 3 arrows. A Rain of Vengeance. He's going to go down. The stay a while on the list and not in time. Here comes, let's see, Alra coming in with his ultimate. And Shiz barely gets a shield flare off. And this fight is going everywhere at the moment.
Yeah, quite literally. 1-for-1 trade right now as it stands. A beautiful 4-man stun coming out from that jet propulsion. And members of League of Ordinary Gentlemen, now having to back up from this fight. One last stun coming out onto Shiz. But it looks like this is going to be where that ends. But the health bar is not so much in favor of Lug, saying they don't want to lose anyone else in this fight. A lot of things burned down there. We still have Go for the Throat available for Greymane. Rain of Vengeance back up for Vala as well. But yeah, lots of cooldowns used up either during or before that fight. So hopefully resetting when we get around to level 13. Looks like there's going to be a camp invade from Lug. Roots going out.
Nice root. A lot of damage from Shiz coming out right there. Cutie Pie. They're still going to have to give this up because all 5 members of Lug come in for the steal and it successfully pulled off.
Yeah, they were able to get their own camp up in the top lane, so at least there's pressure in their favor going up in that top lane to make up for it a little bit. But losing that camp definitely hurts. Also gives Lug a bit of a chance to get their own siege camp up there. Now with both shrines on opposite ends of the map starting, Dahaka hanging out.
It's going to be really dangerous if they all show on map up and top. That would be a really bad idea because you see everybody on the side of Lug just gathering in this bottom, and if they show more than one top, then I'd just take Boss.
Yeah, absolutely. Boss, when you're in this bottom shrine, prime position to grab that while they're occupied elsewhere on the map. But 4-on-4 here in bottom, and 13 on the side of Revolt. This is kind of, they had a small window to potentially go in and get a pick, but 13 now picked up on both teams coming out here.
Rosai's got to be super careful. One good combo from Alarek, and oh, he's charging up. Here he comes. Is he going to commit to it?
Holding on to it.
He's going Super Saiyan.
Holding on to it.
Oh,
Gives
God.
it up. Not worth it. Ends up backing away. That's got to be a bummer. Pizza.
Oh, he had such a good line too. Like all his team had to do was just follow him up, and they would have just wiped the floor with them.
Yeah, I think had Gunslinger maybe been there for the follow-up stuns and jet propulsion, perhaps it would have been worth, but sometimes it's a risky move to pull off. So you just have to be careful there, and I'd rather waste the ultimate than, fall in that manner. We're starting to get later in the game, those death timers are a bit longer. So losing Alarak, who's kind of, supposed to be the main playmaker in this composition, gone, is going to really hurt the team.
Yeah, and this is a pretty low death game. It's 4 kills total, and I'm looking at the hero damage and stuff, and all is pretty low. So there's been a lot of dancing involved in this game tonight.
Yeah, both teams,
kind of surprised.
They're just trying to out macro each other at this point. Like when the fights, no one's really looking for a fight. If one arises, they're like, oh hey, that's cool, and they'll go for it. But no one's, except for right now, really hunting. It seems like, which, given that you have Zeratul on your team, I feel like maybe you would hunt a bit more than they have been. There it is coming out!
Dash, and oh my god, a beautiful sound barrier out of Lucio, though.
Woo! Comes out, stuns are out onto Johanna, ends up using the Iron Skin, gets into the bunker to survive a bit.
Oh, she's more surviving. She's going to pop back out just fine.
She pops out fine. Revolt now going in, making that chase like they can, trying to see if they can get anything else. But a pretty fast retreat, again, with Dorsch on that Lucio, being able to speed boost the team away, making sure that more lives aren't lost in the process. Great disengage coming out.
Yeah, and a good call by Lude here, taking their camp, just to kind of deny that and get some counter pressure going for themselves.
Yeah, the counter pressure is absolutely great, especially in that top lane where Fort's already down, so being able to push...
Ooh! That damage onto Zeratul, one combo. Oh, is he going to get him? Oh my god, she just got him.
Oh,
what
golly.
a brilliant pick onto Zeratul right there.
Shroud trying to go off. Silence from Pizza backs that puppy away. Some behavioral correction.
Mm-hmm. And he and Johanna burned her ultimate on that too. And I completely agree with it. They've lost one of their main sources of damage. Like, that's a huge advantage for them right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what Lude wants to try to do. They're going to end up going to clear that bottom camp before it can push too much. Blaze still working on that bottom shrine. But Revolt coming in, trying to not allow them, or at least stall the rotation so that they can't get to that camp. Range event just comes out. Lands on the lock ski, but just enough to stall. And again, the rotation simply coming out. The rest of Revolt now just going to clear up these lanes. They have a camp of their own that they need to respond to up in the top lane. That's pushing closer to keep, still pretty far off. But there's already some damage done to the gate where they can't let that push too far forward. But Lude,
oh, Blaze is so dead.
they know Blaze is alone. Everyone going on top of him. The bunker comes out to buy a bit of time. But it's not going to be enough. Shiz tried to come down and then said, nope. I am not getting involved there. Gonna hang out in this bush by Boss. Might get discovered. Blind comes out. We're not gonna follow up on that. But Lude down in a position to get Boss. The rest of Revolt coming down, trying to stall it.
They could pull this off. They could pull this off. It's not an impossible fight for them to win. Ooh, Mystic Shroud in a lot of hurt right now. The barrier coming out. Nice stun on it too from the Boss MVP right there. And Aurelius just doing a lot of damage. Gets Void prisoned for his troubles, but it looks like Stay a While and Listen is still on deck for that big time. I'd burn it right now. As soon as he sees that Boss stun go up, I'd throw it out there.
Yeah, have to be careful because if he's caught in that stun too, it's not so great for an old man, but positioned correctly, that could have... Oh, it's used to zone from picking up the Boss!
That's so good.
So good. Oh my
so
goodness.
Smart.
PewDiePie, best Stay a While and Listen I've ever seen that caught nobody. Such a good use, and this Boss is barreling through this bottom lane where the keep's already gone. Still one member down on the side of Lou. They could potentially still defend against this, but damage is going to go onto their core fairly quickly. When all 5 members hanging out here from Revolt, now starting to back away. I was worried that they were going to try to end. Pizza taking a lot of damage from Mystic Shroud. Blinds do go out and is able to walk away just a bit. Dorsch caught around a lot of blue members. Zeratul ends the first to go down in all of this, though. Bunker comes out, Ball's hanging out in there. Loxky getting incredibly low, ends up falling. The boss is still chunking away on the core. This is all been a distraction, mind you. 50% core health. This boss still has core health left. Pizza coming in with the kill as well. And this is looking like GG for Revolt game number 1. Woo! That end boss play was absolute highlight of that entire match.
That was such a beautiful zoning. And then they got a pick off of it too that, led them to being able to push for GG. And that was such a smart ultimate right there. It's like divine shielding a guy channeling a tower on Towers of Doom, to get the win. It's so genius.
Absolutely. And pretty low kill game, compared to, I guess, our last series that had double digits in both of them, 9-3 going out there. But Johanna Shiz with the siege, with the everything coming out from that match, and great plays also coming out from Alarak. And like I mentioned, that was my worry, but Pizza did a kick-ass job on that hero, so props to them. Zex, map number 2. Where should we go? We have the power.
What do we have available to us?
So we have all the HGC map pools. So we have the normal stuff like Volskaya Foundry and Infernal Shrines and Battlefield of Eternity. We can pull out a Dragonshire or a Cursed Hollow.
Nah.
Towers of Doom.
Do we have Warhead available to
I
us?
don't think Warhead is available in the HGC pool anymore. It's a map that I haven't seen in ages, so I have to go look again.
Nobody wants to play on towers.
Nope, it got switched out with Volskaya Foundry in Phase 1. That's
Oh,
what had
that's
happened,
a
yes. So
That's a bummer. I like Dragonshire. Dragonshire is a fun map.
let's go to Dragonshire for Game 2. See, for the rest of the teams in Bush League, make sure to be very good friends with your casters so that perhaps they might pick a game that favors your team. I can't wait. I can't wait for the black market of game pick, map pick to start up.
Yeah. Well, last season there was a team. Please don't ban Diablo. They had to take map pick because every time we'd put them on Dragonshire. And they played every game but one on Dragonshire. It was the funniest stuff.
Alright, we're just getting this set up, getting these teams in the lobby for this next game. Do we think we're gonna see something like the Alarak come out again? It's a bit crazy, a bit weird. Do we think it's a possibility to make a second appearance?
Probably not. That Alarak was a nightmare. If it's not banned, I'll be shocked.
You think it's ban-worthy this time around?
Yeah, I would ban it. I'm not dealing with this. This is not worth my time.
So if we keep the same bans from last time, do you give up the Garrosh or the Chromie ban for the Alarak?
God, I'd ban Alarak. Because at least you can, if Chromie goes time loop, you can at least bust out the counter strike to stuff it.
True. Very true. Very true.
And because they commit halfway through that timer, I mean, the damage is gonna land. He's gonna block it and then just counter strike. So, which could be massively detrimental
Yeah, absolutely.
to a team.
Good point. Good point. Getting lobby setup is so tedious. We got one team ready. Oh, EBS, what are you doing in here?
What is my boy? What is my boy
Players from
doing?
other teams trying to sneak in. I appreciate it. I appreciate. While we're getting this set up, we had 500 more bits coming out from Fringe Average. Thank you, buddy. And then we had a $10 donation from Honey JB.
Nice.
Thank you everyone for hanging out here, by the way. For week 1 has already been on fire for Bush League. It's been amazing. So props to y'all for hanging out, supporting these teams, seeing what shenanigans they're up to on these days. We have so much more of the season coming up too. You ain't seen nothing yet. Nothing yet.
Oh, this is gonna. Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for this season. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was privileged enough to come in at the very last minute to cast a game for Bush League last season, and that was a good time. So I'm really glad to be back here. All right, let's see. Hats are good for both our teams, and then we'll speed right away into the land of the dragons. Do you think we'll see? What are some good things that can potentially come up here? Urel was banned out from Revolt last time around. I would say that's still a pretty good ban unless you're planning on picking her up.
Yeah, that Urel's she's idiotically strong. Everyone, there's a lot of people. When I was looking at her kit, there's a lot of people that are yeah, I don't think she's gonna be that good. All right, okay, she's Chen with more mobility and a stun and usefulness.
So useful.
So
Can't doubt the Space Goat Mama, as Ramadi so lovingly calls her, and which I have also started calling her. She is Space Goat Mom. She is. She's.
I don't know. See, I don't know that much about Warcraft, late Warcraft.
I don't know if she's
everything.
actually a mom, but she's Space Goat Mama in the bodacious sense, you know.
Fringe Doten 69 bits for me. Hey,
I love it. Always with the 69. Fringe, thank you. And Chief Ratchet, thank you for the bits as well. Alright, looks like everyone is ready here. Almost. Just kidding. And alright. Let's get started. Game number 2.
Oh god, I hope they're on this. I hope they're on the same sides.
Oh yes, they are.
Okay, thank God.
I would be very sad if that were not the case. I would hate to debate myself that way. One team has at least all the same portraits, so I'm like, okay, all the ones that look like pizzas go on this team, and pizzas on Revolt. Great.
Fastest Urel ban ever. Good lord. The second hadn't even passed on the clock, and Urel's out.
I look up and the animation's already fading from the ban. I'm like, well.
Right?
Speed runs of Heroes of the Storm drafts is what this is right now for Luke. Rainer?
Me and a group of friends play Dead by Daylight, and there's a joke that I'm the world record holder for being found first, because I have this awful habit of getting found first. Within seconds of the match start, the killer will find me for some reason.
You just have
I hate that game so much.
I have actually never played it, but a lot of people seem to really dig it. It looks brutal, to be honest.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah. Alright, so Chromie stays as a ban for Lug.
It's a safe ban. Chrome is really annoying in the shrine areas.
Yeah.
So
They hate sands. It's coarse, it's hot, gets everywhere.
calm down there, Anakin.
Don't want to deal with that. Greymane ban. So afraid a Mystic Shroud on the puppy dog that it gets taken out.
Yeah, he was pretty effective in that game. It was really nice to see Mystic on that Greymane. I've played against him before, and it's always fun. Even if all I did one Creators of the Storm tournament was hook him, gorge him over, and make sure he died.
Mm-hmm.
standard Johanna.
Yeah, getting picked up by Lude this time instead of Revolt.
Is Johanna the most milquetoast character in Heroes mechanically?
Milk toast. I've never heard that before.
It's you don't know
Please
what
explain. No, like you just mean like
milk
bland.
toast is like. Yeah, bland, boring, not very. It doesn't stand out.
Yeah, I guess when I play her, it's just kind of like, oh, I've got some stuff. Like Condemns, you're kind of like, ooh, but she's just kind of there. She's a big unkillable mess. So I suppose I'll have to think about it because it used to be Rainer, but not so much anymore.
Yeah.
But he still is a pretty like, hit the button and
Yeah,
win.
Yeah, he and I've been calling her Johanna and not Natalie Dormer like it should have been.
You failed. You have failed here.
I did.
So we see that Alarak picked up again, this time paired with a Garrosh that got let through since we had the Urel ban take place. Blaze getting banned out from Revolt, not wanting to pick up the big fiery boy this time around.
No, that was a pretty smart ban in all honesty for whoever's going to go up against their solo laner. Like Blaze is super annoying.
Yeah, I mean, now that Urel's out, when you think about heroes that can hold those shrines, it's Blaze and it's Sonya, and now both of them are gone. So when we're looking at the solo lane for both these teams, actually, Dahaka comes out to respond to that. Decker Kane's going to make an appearance again.
Yeah, and like they had a lot of success with Deckard last game, so I don't see why they shouldn't continue on to that.
Yeah, absolutely. There aren't really opportunities to use the Stale While in the ways that they had earlier, more on the defensive side. But still a strong healer nonetheless. The Phoenix Thrall coming out. So we have Jaina, we have Thrall, and we have Phoenix. We have 3 slows coming out. All
that's a
together
Planet Cracker.
down there. Woo!
This is gonna be this is so gonna be a Planet Cracker game.
Oh golly!
Ooh, and a ballad.
Thaw coming
Hey, if
in.
it works.
I mean, it almost works. Or it did work. What am I saying? It did work. Do I have this all written down? Who am I missing? I'm missing Jaina. That's who. For my logs. Yeah. I give it as much as Pizza rocks the Alarak. I might be giving this draft over to Luke. Because holy cow. You've got Ring of Frost with Planet Cracker potential. You've got Ring of Frost with Earthquake with Purification Salvo potential. Like, F all that. Fuck all that. You know?
Oh my god. Yeah, so I completely agree with you on that. As I'm digging in my mouth.
I didn't even notice. My apologies. we're swapping over to the game now, so dig away, my friend. No shame. Alright, game number 2 for this series. Can Revolt take a 2-0 against their opponents? We're going to find out. We're going to have Aurelius again on Valo. Pizza following up again on that Alarak Cutie Pie. Again on the Decker Kane. Shiz going on Garrosh and Gunslinger up on Revolt. Or up on Dahaka.
5,
On Team Revolt.
4, 3, 2.
So everyone in the chat's giving me crap about eating rags now. But on Luge, we've got Lowski on Phoenix, Rosai on Thrall, and Wigan on Johanna again. Jaina is going to be played by Mystic Shroud, and Dorsch is on Rhaegar. And Rhaegar, Dorsch definitely has a comfort hero here.
Woo! The immediate flip coming out from Shiz onto Ender Wigan. Ooh, a beautiful tongue onto Phoenix with Pizza. with the knockback, a first kill in favor of Revolt. Again, showing that terrifying combination from Alarak. Whew.
Yeah, as soon as Alarak got that TK off onto Phoenix, that dude was dead.
Absolutely. So
Double
close.
tower shots, and his shield is already down. And
Yep.
He's
I wasn't
got,
sure
like,
if he'd be able to get the teleport in time to have like the 2 hit point crazy save, but nah, not today. Not today, friends.
no, definitely not. And they're getting some good push right now. It looks like they're going to start taking their camp here real quick. Aurelius kind of hanging out and decides to start the camp. So I like that decision. But on the same side, Mystic Shroud and Dorsch are just doing it faster.
Yeah, they just have so much more potential with the 2 of them being there to clear that up. And as fast as Vala can shoot, she can't shoot that fast. The lane was already pushed up a bit in their favor. Rozai able to at least neutralize that initially. So they're going to be able to grab that bottom cap while Revolt gets the top. This is going to be an even trade. Phoenix trying to be a little bit sneaky and get up into there.
Yeah, he'll be fine if Dahaka rotates up on him, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if the tongue comes out onto him, it's still a quick teleport away. Not enough damage coming out from him to really...
Ooh, Rozai just going for it. Oh, I would have saved that.
Trying to so hard. They end up losing the top beacon, though.
I think if he had saved that that wolf and just hit him with it right out the gate, does he have him down? Well, no, he hadn't even picked his level 4 yet, so he might have been able to get the channel off in time.
Ooh, the Garrosh Alarak coming out onto Doris, trying to get Rhaegar out of the picture entirely, able to run away from that luckily, but gonna have to watch out for getting picked off like that. Between, yeah, the stun from Pizza and the flip.
Oh,
Shiz.
Ender Wig, brilliant. Got in the way between him and Dorsch, between Shiz and Dorsch. And so Shiz ended up throwing Ender instead, which is a beautiful scenario right there.
Yeah, that was a great block for the Rhaegar there so that he didn't eat the brunt of that. Because in that situation, I think that time around it might have been a dead Rhaegar in that picture, but Dorsch able to stay alive. Channel available for the side of Revolt. Ender Wigging at least trying to stay on this point to try to contest it, but it's not moving that far any further. Zai staying in mid to try to at least soak that and protect the turn in, or the dragon capture point. And it doesn't.
Yeah, that's really the smartest decision because Thrall can be super annoying with the chain lightnings that just keep someone poked for days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of everyone, I think he is, other than Jaina, the most, I think, worthwhile candidate to have that position up there to protect there. Finally.
Oh, Dorsch going for a ride down at the bottom shrine. He manages to puppy walk his way on out of there. Really, he should have been dead. He got tossed in the middle of like 3 people, so really good heads up play on Dorsch right there.
Eclipse coming out around Shiz, able to flip it in order to get out. Zai ends up taking the damage. This will be the 2nd kill of this game.
Yeah, Revolt securing both kills this game so far, but we also have a channel available on the side. Oh, that tongue from Gunslinger almost landed on Lasky, and that would have been an awful, painful tie.
Dorsch, can he get out? Nope, he is going to fall. Pizza trying to follow up on Ender Wings as well. Shit ends up flipping Pizza. Much like the Pizza Man does, flipping that down left and right. And
Oh my
with
God.
the new channel available, Aurelius just not able to grab it. The top shrine ends up being lost. Gunslinger ends up capturing it back very quickly.
Yeah, he's got to be really careful though. Lasky can chase him down, but it's gonna. Oh, channel just barely missed. Lasky not there in time.
This is first DK going over to Revolt, pushing down this mid lane, trying to get the sport out of the picture. That tower going down. They're gonna focus their efforts on the bottom lane. Ender Wigging already down there. To see what they can do about the dragon. We have a bit of an experience lead again for Revolt going into this. So this Dragonite is going to simply further that along, get them closer to 9, which is going to put them in a really good position once it expires.
they're playing this Dragon Knight really, really safe too, which I completely agree with. They're trying to maximize the value out of it, and they're going to get like 3 towers out of this, maybe more if he rotates it back up towards mid. I think they're going to go for this well, though. That would be the... Yes, they're going to go for this well. Play it smart.
They're going to back
love
up
it.
a bit, given that they're in the minion wave. Wait for their own to come through. But if they got a fort, that would, I think, be the icing on a cake on an already fantastic push that's got them already over halfway to level 10. So, members of Lou gonna have to be careful. They're on their way themselves, but if they end up getting caught out of position or give up a little bit too much to their opponents, they're going to be at a level deficit that could come around and really bite them in the butt.
Oh, Rosai getting tossed in the middle of 3 right there. Is he going to be able to get out? Root is down. Nobody dies just yet. Enderwigan walks up, does the Johanna thing, and just walks on out of there. But they're going to be able to get this, get 10 and get this mid wall down fully now. So that's a really good trade-off for no kills.
Yeah, absolutely.
They stole a camp. They get a tower. So they're sitting real nice right now.
Yeah, Revolt simply continuing to build up on that macro pressure instead of... With the level 10 advantage, sometimes you'll get a little bit too eager to use those heroics. So I like that they're simply playing it safe, getting these camps, moving on to this Battle Bruiser camp, just continuing this map pressure to get them closer.
Oh my goodness, this is a falling sword, Johanna.
Ooh, matching the global pressure from Dahaka? Or...
honestly, no, this is just to get into the back line.
Yeah.
And just completely disrupt. This is... Ring is down.
So is
Nice
Earthquake.
dash in. Oh, Dorsch is...
Ooh, right onto Shiz. The root goes out as well. Shiz in a terrible position. Ends up falling. This camp is still also dealing damage to Johanna as well.
Dorsch has no business being alive right now.
No.
Like, they did not focus him in that team fight. And he wiggled out with just like a few hit points. That was wild.
Yeah, able to get out.
Let's see what we got. Stay a while and listen again on Rosai. And you know what? That could very well be another zoning ult to secure a late game dragon. But
Yeah.
you gotta stay in the lead first.
Yeah, first you gotta get that lead back, and then you have to stay there. It could also be zoning potential for if someone's trying to disrupt their channel. So I think not as big of an impact or as Shoya's play as defending that boss capture, but still useful in the exact same way. And I love seeing how teams can be so versatile with it. Sun's going out onto Johanna. Iron Skin used. Suns go out. No follow-up.
God, it's so frustrating to watch it. Like, just watching Johanna walk away from, like, because that combo should have killed anybody else. But Johanna just, okay, that happened.
Walking away, no big deal. And that is the annoyance of Johanna.
And she's a surprisingly big body, too. Like, you look at her model, and she doesn't look that big, but, like, she gets in front of you, and you can't get her off you. She's just there, constantly.
Yeah, she can body block for days, and she doesn't have to worry necessarily about dying very quickly, so...
Dahaka in a lot of trouble right here. He has to burn his dig. Gets rooted. Earthquake comes out.
Ooh.
And nice throw by Shiz. Maybe turns a... Oh, it's just in trouble.
Still able to sneak by! Oh, the Stale While barely makes it out before Deckard ends up being disrupted. Garrosh still ends up falling in all of this, even after being able to get through the gate initially. Still. Woo.
She, Mystic came in with a big kill. Ooh, Dorsch just going in, does not care. Gets silenced. Almost gets the kill on Pizza. Lug has found their stride all of a sudden, and I'd like to see I'd like to see Mystic go back and get some mana, but they've got to be really careful right here as they're getting ready to channel this. Oh, Mystic, can he go for it? Nope.
Yeah, Dahaka has, or Decker Kane has so many stalling tools available for these simply in his base kit, even without Stay a While and Listen, so this is going to be really tricky to capture like this without getting a few members out first on Revolt. Revolt going in real deep, trying to make the engagement go on their terms. Phoenix finally coming down, looking on the other side, waiting for an opportunity to come in.
Let's see. Phoenix Wind Purification Salvo. Okay. So.
No Earthquake
Nice.
available, so not too much value in it without the slows, unless they're using it as a spacing tool.
No. They're probably wanting to engage right now because 4 seconds until Earthquake comes off cooldown, so they may try to kind of quasi-bait a fight closer to their tower. Their fort. Their tower.
Yeah, Revolt ends up backing off entirely, instead focusing on their siege camp. Dahaka going back to the top lane, being able to clear there. Loxley going back, capturing that shrine. Garrosh on the bottom, trying to try there. Rosai has some company as well, coming down around Shiz. The Blizzard goes out, the slows are coming in. The Earthquake comes out just to secure the kill, which is a very weird use of that. I feel like they would have gotten the kill without it anyway, but this is leaving Alarak able to pick up this channel without any members of Luke trying to stop it. And this is Dragon Knight number 2, again, in favor of Revolt.
Yeah, this is a good. This would be a great time for Revolt to capitalize on this misplay, and get and maybe even a fort. That doesn't work, Losky. Good try. Get the fort down and maybe push down, keep wall on top of it.
Yeah, there's a counter push right now going out in the bottom lane where Luke is able to get 4 of their own. The Ring of Frost is going to come out. Dahaka's the only one caught in it. Mystic Shroud trying to poke a little bit. Low on mana though, so they're going to end up moving behind the gate.
I don't know if I can get behind that ring. That seemed really out of place.
It did seem like a bit of a panic and hoping to at least stall a little bit, at the very least. Ender Wing ended up being thrown in the midst of all that. But walks away.
Lasky. Oh, that's not the target
That's not
you
the
wanted.
target for Ancestral right there.
They may be able to get this Dragonite down? No, it's so nice. Oh, whoa, better kick though. That just completely removed Johanna from that fight. They've got a back now. That is not safe. Oh, kicked her over the river.
Over the river and through the woods. Johanna goes bye-bye. Luke, though. Both teams, actually, in level 16, immediately going for camps, for clearing up pressure. Dahaka responding to this giant camp that was pushing during that entire Dragonite phase in the bottom lane that had some assistance early on. Is taking a lot of damage. Root and stun onto Johanna, but again, Iron Skin Muse able to walk away from the situation entirely.
Let's see, I'm looking at this Johanna build. I like this, the Holy Renewal on her. She's going blind build, and that's kind of weird to me. That's not something I've seen often, but Teamfight, Earthquake goes down, Pizza in a lot of trouble, gets a really good heal from Deckard right there. Shiz almost dead, goes down. Losky just dropping bombs on people right now. Can't get away from the bro toss. Maybe they can, unless you got an old man.
Unless Grandpa's there to save the day for his little grandchildren there. There was a beautiful 4-person stun that came out in favor of Revolt. Nothing to really capitalize on it though, so really just used to space out, let them disengage from that fight. Pizza ended up dashing out as well and just retreating to the top lane to go clear up those siege giants in the top. But taking a lot of damage, can't really clear that himself.
Yeah, with Garrosh dead at the moment, there's not a whole lot they can do there. Their big tank is sitting on the sidelines, watching helplessly as the aggressive camp for Lug is taken. That probably won't get too much work done, but it's more important, in my opinion, to deny the other team their own resources.
Yeah, absolutely. Bottom Bruiser camp being picked up. Yet again, more pressure in this bottom lane. I wouldn't be too surprised if Lug decided to simply keep pushing this bot lane. They had a 3-man push going down on one point and really took advantage of the situation. They're able to get the channel, so Revolt now trying to protect against them picking up the 3rd Dragonite of this game. Still haven't been able Or sorry, Revolt has been the one picking up all the Dragonites. I got that confused in my brain for a hot second. Apologies. But Revolt getting a bit aggressive here. The taunt goes out onto Rosai. Earthquake went out. Rain comes down and Route 3!
Oh, they got the camp, but at what cost? Pizza gonna go down here. Does get a nice silence onto Thrall right there. TKs him away, but that just leaves Gunslinger in a load of trouble. Enderwigan just solo focusing on to Pizza right there. But I think the more important thing to do is to neutralize that camp, take top, and just pretty much take that bot, keep it at your leisure.
Yeah, Mystic Shroud already hanging out here waiting for that opportunity. We have 3 members here, so any one of them can grab that channel. And given that this mid lane already has the fort down, they still have the gate wall that they have to get through, but potentially this late in the game can get a lot of value out of this Dragonite. It's the first one that they've gotten, but they're potentially going to do a lot of damage to Keep, and it looks like they might even beeline it for the bottom lane that already has that gate mostly down.
Yeah, this is a real smart decision in my opinion. It's the least defended right now. That's already down. They're not going to be able to pull Dragonite off the keep once he starts sticking to it, but they're just waiting for the creep wave to pull up and so they can clear it as quickly as possible.
Yeah, playing it patient, not going in too far too fast. Flip ends up going out. Purification Salvo coming out as well.
There's a lot of damage onto Pizza. If they can just stay focused on this keep, it's going to be pretty easy. And Shiz into no man's land right there. Nice Earthquake coming out, followed by the punt, but it's not going to really lead to much else. Just, I take that back. Garrosh went down, and now Dahaka went down.
2 down on Revolt. Dragonite finally expired. Loxley tried to get a little bit more damage onto that well instead of backing off with the rest of the team, but with that bottom keep down, that's first keep of the game, and now additional pressure building up there. We're going to start having catapults to worry about on top of the pressure that Luke is
Pizza,
trying
don't
to
do it. Pizza, don't. Oh, Pizza. Oh, you are
Pizza.
living dangerously, my friend.
What's Bush League if you're not living dangerously?
Exactly.
Living, you got one shot. Sometimes you gotta go all in.
They're going to play pretty safe considering they have Storm Tier advantage. They're going to take this night camp. They may go invade because they see them all. They might have seen them all. But
Yeah, ping's going out onto the Bruiser camp too, so I think Revolt knows that there's a chance of this being invaded on. Luke instead waiting for their opponents to try to show before they go invade as well. Meeting up with Thrall on top. Instead, gonna push this top lane, play it safe.
lots of safety. Oh, we got Storm Shield on Rhaegar. That's not something I'm used to seeing.
Surprises left and right here today. Ring of Frost
Oh.
doesn't connect with anyone. Pizza going right in. Earthquake goes down. Taunt hits, I think, 3. And Special goes out, but wasn't the right target yet again. Iron Skin popped. Gunslinger looking very low. Both teams going to back away. Lots of fireworks for not a lot of value.
Yeah, no, that was a surprisingly deathless fight right there. I thought Sonya for sure was going to die, but things to note, Purification Salvo is still up cooldown. On the other hand, Stay a While and Listen is still up cooldown.
The 2 last standing heroics. Who shall be the
Blue
first to
team's
use them?
core is under attack.
Minions hitting the core on the side of
Oh, that's
Revolt.
annoying. Oh, but they grabbed the Dragonite.
Grab
This
the
is a level 20 Dragonite.
Pizza's coming to deal with the Merc Wave there in the bottom lane. I feel like Revolt needs to decide that they want to end now, or they may not win this game. It's very likely that they don't. They have 2 members back at the core area right now. Alarak is coming up to rejoin the rest of their team as Dahaka clears that bottom wave, but there's a lot of work this Dragonite has to do and not enough manpower behind it to support it right now.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Dahaka has got all this extra pressure he's going to have to deal with, and this Dragonite's just been reduced to, like, poking. God, I hope not. Chat saying level 30 game incoming.
Oh no! Don't curse us like that, chat.
I'm
why?
sorry. I won't make you guys play Garden of Terror. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
It is interesting to note. Snowstorm, 30% radius increase on Blizzard for Jaina instead of any of the numbing frost
Oh, instead
or
of
the cone.
yeah.
Has destroyed a fort.
Interesting.
I guess they got some value out of it. They got 2 forts out of this. So, looking to at least break down this keep wall.
There's only 5 seconds left with this Dragonite too. There's not much they can do. They either have to decide they're going to go in on this or just leave.
Oh, Pesa's in a bad way right now. Here comes Purification Salvo. Does some extra damage. The Falling Sword comes out from Ender. He's got to hold a shiz if he... Oh, that's sleep on... Oh, the dash in does nothing? Oh, and just
Alaric
leave him.
ends up feeding in that. Oh my goodness.
Maybe he felt bad about Decker landing a 4-man sleep and just... This is... If I were the other team, this is where I would just put out a question mark.
Yeah, this
Just that manner, huh?
that is a very scenario. Aurelius focus down. 3 members down. I think League of Ordinary Gentlemen trying to
Blue
come
team's
over
core
and
is
end
taking
this
damage.
game.
Yeah,
No.
they
No level 30 here, ladies and gentlemen.
God, that... Oh, I'm so sad for Revolt. That was such a godlike sleep, and it landed on... It led to nothing.
Yeah.
Like, the most baffling part of that fight was... Like, that was the most beautiful Blade Dash I've seen going in, and it did no damage. Like, nobody took any damage.
Mm-hmm.
That was wild.
It was incredibly wild, and I mean, that's what ended up securing the way that fight ended up going, which was not, I think, how Revolt was hoping it would go. So League of Ordinary Gentlemen taking a game for themselves in this series as well. So this evening, having 2 1-1 series. So congratulations to all teams all around. Everyone got a point tonight. All right.
Yay.
Let's go. Alarak Pizza working their butt off, though, trying to get that damage in that siege in, actually. But not enough. 4 kills to 12 in favor of Lug. But that was quite the exciting series there, for sure.
Mhm.
Lots of back and forth, but in the end of the day, the League of Ordinary Gentlemen might be a little bit more than ordinary, I would say.
Yeah. I mean,
For now.
their healer was okay. Their sub, he was all right.
Yeah,
He did okay, I
he was-
guess.
You know, it'd be really whichever team ends up with Dorsch as their full-time support is really, really lucky. I think we can agree to say.
He's on my team.
Yay! All right. Well, that wraps it up for the first weekend of Bush League. Still no Probiuses in sight, so I'm kind of disappointed, but you know, there's still time. There's still time, I would say. Zexeris. Why don't you tell Zexeris? Sorry, I keep fucking it up. I do this all the time. There's too many, I don't know, whatever. Why don't you tell the lovely people that are watching where they can find you if they don't know who you are?
You can find me on Twitter at Zexeris. Find me on YouTube at Zexeris. You can find me on Twitch at Zexeris.
Easy
Pretty
peasy.
simple.
Zexeris.
Yeah, all the Zexes.
All everywhere. All right. And I, again, and Cat Peach, I'm here. I'm on Twitter. I'm in the Bush League. There's another cat. There's been 2 cats today. Hello, cat. Your cat just jumped up behind you.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, other side. Other side.
Oh, hey, dude. That is... Oh, hold on. Come here. Come here, dude.
Cat
This
Cam.
is-
Cat Cam.
Yes, this is Henry Haircat
Oh.
Meowingtons the 8th.
Beautiful. I love him. Awesome. All right. That wraps it up for us, though. So, again, thanks everyone for hanging out, and thanks everyone for all the donations, the bit cheers. It's fantastic. If you were on a team, you can try to use that for your advantage later on in the season if you want to sway me on a mapper one way or another. So, Zax, thanks for joining me yet again after playing a game of yourself. And otherwise, we'll see y'all. I think Goon is casting both games next week, so make sure to check out where those games will be. That signs it out for us. So thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Take care.